never pull the CMA out and share the data with the seller. And that's what they want. All they want you to do is tell them what their home is worth and how much money you're going to charge them for commissions to be the seller for their the selling agent for their property. So we're never going to do that. Never going to do that. We're going to always make you host against Sally, okay? All right. We're going to always move to the place where we're only going to give the seller our commitment to do a professional job, share with them all the benefits of working with us and our strategic marketing plan for getting their property sold. That's our 7-phase commitment, all them things. But then we're going to come back and educate them so that they can properly price their home. Okay. Now we're going to go over to slide 2. And this is with slide 2, first thing we're going to do is that we're going to get the client to agree to our method of current market analysis. So when you go back, you're going to have your research done. You're going to pull out your MacDaddy multi-purpose CMA with all of the data, listings, solds, expires, off the market, those that have been canceled, and you're going to go back and you're going to be equipped and thoroughly educated about the market conditions so that you can help the seller determine the best price for their home. Now remember, you're not there to price the home or tell the seller what their home is worth. You are there to educate, to inform them about current market conditions, properties that's listed currently, properties that's in escrow, properties that's already been sold, those that did not sell, and give them reasons why these things didn't happen according to your professional opinion. Would you guys agree? Okay, now your job at this point here is to get the seller to agree with you with every phase of the information that you give them, and you're going to do it by pulling out your CMA and you're going to walk through the presentation step by step by step. Now, once they agree with you guys, you're going to do a 2-step procedure you're going to use for presenting your current market analysis. Now, you're going to do it by showing them, all right, to put it this way here, you're going to do it not just for them, but you're going to do it for you. You're going to do it for the buyers that's coming through. You're going to do it for the agents that's coming through, because you're going to be the one that's going to educate everybody about your listing, why it's priced where it's at. Because what's going to happen is buyers going to come through and want to offer a different price than the home is worth. Would you guys agree? Buyer's agent is going to come by and tell the buyer what they think they get the house for based on their negotiating skills. And I always talk about a shrewd negotiator, but the truth of the matter is that I only can get the house purchased for whatever the seller is willing to accept for the home. But the better informed seller, or educated seller, won't take less for their home if they know what the current market is doing, and that's your job as their agent. So you're going to use your current market analysis to educate buyers, your staff, the bank, and even sometimes the appraiser will come out and challenge the value that you've put on the property. But if you did a good enough job, when the appraiser come out, then you can show them the things that you use to come up with your value approach. Because after all, you're a real estate professional and you are currently pricing properties at the level that market will prevail. And your job is to get it within 3%, guys, 3% of the last thing that's sold on the market. That's your job. Either 3% above, less than 3% above, or less than 3% under market. But anywhere in there, we call that in the real estate world the Goldilocks zone. If you're within 3% of the last property that's sold that's comparable to your property, then you should be in a pretty good place to get your offer accepted and the appraisal will come through. The danger of overpricing your property is that it won't appraise. Then you have to go back to the seller, explain to them why they got to reduce the price for the property, and all these things here that could possibly jeopardize your listing or you getting the property sold on that part of market or that market value, or the property end up staying on the market too long, and then the seller is forced to reduce the profit of the house. Why? Because what happens is agents will look at the home that's been sitting on the market in a hot market like today. If you see a home that's out there for 30 days or 40 days in this market, what's the first thing you're going to think? you're going to think that's one, something's wrong with the property. The seller has some unusual contingencies that they want to do. You want to think that, well, one, you'll see quickly that the house is overpriced. And what would happen is that the average agent will use your home as a showing platform of what the other property could be that they want to put their offer on that's priced right in the market. Because if you sell a home that's priced $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 above market value, and there's a like property that's down the street that this doesn't show as pretty as that property, you would go and show that home, and then you would show the potential buyers the other home and show them what a little bit of elbow grease would do for their home by putting a little paint on or changing the carpet out for a few $1,000s, and their home would be just as nice as the home that's $50,000 over. And that's the dangers that sellers run into when they are listing their properties. And your job is to educate them and educate everyone that will come in to take a look at your listings. So let's look at a few things here is that we're going to do and look at the current market analysis. So,
Calvin, can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Do you think it's better to give a credit for paint or to paint before you list?
I myself would never encourage the seller to paint because most buyers will come in and want to change the colors anyway.
Right.
And I would.
So do you price it a little bit lower, or would you price exactly the way you think you should price?
I would price it at market value. Remember, Daniel did the thing with the two $100 bills. He balled one up and stumped it on the ground. Well, that's the same situation here. What the paint is not as pretty as possible. Now, if there's some things they can do is clean the house up or wipe down the walls or something like that, I can make suggestions, but I wouldn't encourage them to go out and spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to paint the house because someone else is going to paint the house when they come in. So I would be open to credit the buyer back if it becomes a negotiated portion of the sale. So if the buyer comes and says, well, you know what, I want a painter's credit or a buyer's credit, and then you would negotiate that out with your seller. And sometimes you would do it. And with myself, what I do in my listings, I always price in some unusual repair requests for the sellers. And I normally put in anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 buffer in my seller's net sheet, just for them type of situations.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, great. But that's right. You're going to be dealing with that in a moment, aren't you?
Yeah, their house is, he hasn't painted it in probably 15 years.
Okay.
So I know they're going to want a paint credit, but he's the only house on the market in an incredibly desirable area. So I don't think we'd have to.
Yes.
They could take it as is.
And exactly right, because of the fact is that the market is so tight right now, buyers are not asking ridiculous things like it was when the market was loose. When they had an overabundance of homes, they would ask you for everything under the sun, and the seller would have to give it to them because the property has been on the market for so long. So when you're in this market here, I think the seller can pretty much be pretty firm at his price if it's priced correctly and get every dollar and not have to do anything.
Yeah, I just had a buyer recently, and we didn't ask for a thing, and we bought our own, NHD, we bought our own everything.
Yes.
Our own smoke detectors, everything, so that we can get it.
Exactly. That's exactly what's the market is there. What's going on in the market right now today? So yeah, I think you're in good shape. So let's go through a good question, Star. By the way, okay.
I had a property that I closed. We closed in 29 days, and the same situation. They lived there for 25 years, and OMG, it was bad. But we got over asking, and seller didn't do any repairs. It was kind of crazy, to be honest.
That's awesome. But that's the market that we're in, guys. So actually, for the listing agent, this is a really good market because you can fairly easily get your property sold quickly and without a lot of hassle and going through a lot of hurdles with the buyer because they're not fussing today. They're not. It's not like they have a big choice of neighborhoods and homes that they get. If they find the right neighborhood, they'll pay the dollar to get it. And in fact, we have people paying $50,000 above market value, and the sellers are getting it. And I'm not saying do that with your listing because that puts you at a disadvantage, and don't promise that to your sellers. but it could happen with your listings. Okay. So let's go through our first techniques, guys. Thank you for that. Let's start with the best price and misled, and that is basically sellers are being misled for certain things, and that's number 87. So I cannot see everybody here, but I want to see if you guys want to help me out today with some reading of scripting, and I do that because when you see it, you have certain amount of memory. When you speak it, you retain a little bit more. And when you do it, you retain a little bit more. So I ask you guys to help me. Not that I can't read. It's just that it helps you to internalize the scripts. Okay? So now you're in the home. You came back, your second visit to the home. You got your pricing presentation together. You have your video with you if you have the video. You have your CMA. You have the data. You have the pitch. All the things you have necessary to what? Educate your seller. Now you're here. And now this is your opening dialogue, best price. Okay. It says it takes a lot of work on my part, a lot of work, but one of the reasons that you will benefit by having me represent you is that I can help you determine the best price, the best asking price for your home. Now, that was pretty unique what he said there. The best asking price for your home. Help you determine. Now, who's pricing the home, guys? Unmute yourself.
The seller.
The seller is pricing the home. How many agents you think out there right now are pricing the home for the sellers? Most agents. You know why? Because they haven't been trained properly. In the minute that the home don't sell, or the neighbor come by, or the brother come by, or the real estate agent that be down the street come by and tell them that their home is not priced correctly or underpriced or some of the things there, who do you think is the incompetent person? The agent that priced the home. But what if you properly educated them and they chose the price for the home based on the information that you gave them? When someone comes to challenge that price, what do you think the seller is going to do at that point? Unmute yourself. Somebody answer. Can you help me out? The seller's going to protect the decision. He's going to say, wait a minute, I know my home is priced right because I've seen the data. I've seen how many homes was listed. I've seen what was expired and why, because you're educated, right? Why they expired, why they were overpriced, why they were underpriced, and the seller would defend it. Why? Because their pride is on the level where the person would think they'll be attacking the agent, but really they're attacking the seller, and the seller would dismiss them real quickly. And guess what happens? You're the star because you prepared that seller for that conversation. How many of you guys right now have maybe listed the property and then they came by a brother or a sister or a cousin or a friend that only sold or bought one house in their lifetime, came to tell your client that their home is underpriced? And you have to have that conversation. Have you guys ever had that? Just put it in the chat box, me too, or me. Something in there if that was you. Now, I asked that question because I've had that happen to me many times when I was young as a real estate agent because I didn't know the difference. And I had to defend my information or my decision to help the seller list the property. And I never have to do that in this current life season of my real estate career because of the fact that I let the seller determine the right listing price for their home. And I never have to have that conversation. Now, agents will mislead them. Neighbors, brothers, friends, cousins would mislead them, but never with you. So this is your scripting form. This is it. I can help you determine the best asking price for your home. Many sellers are misled by agents who tell you what they think the home will sell for. But Mr. Seller, I'm determined to make sure that you have enough information that you can determine the highest selling price possible. Would you agree? Would that be okay with you? Or whatever you're going to tie that in with. But do you see how powerful that is, guys? That the seller is being equipped, being empowered to price their home. You're the teacher right now. You're the educator about real estate, about sales, and in the current market condition. So when the seller set that price, it's etched in stone and it's concrete, and the seller will have no challenge whatsoever speaking to anyone about the price that they price their home at. Can you see? I see how powerful that would be. Now, at that point, if the seller says, okay, great, and they sit down and listen, then your next step would be is to pull out your CMA to get ready to educate them. Here it is. This is called the technique number 88. Now, these are just your scripts. Now, this is 270 scripts that we all been practicing 3 a day. And then first 90 days, we should have all 270 scripts internalized so we can do like Star did. Never pull the script out, never pull the presentation out, but go through and have the conversation because the scripts are inside of here and we can move forward with educating and speaking with our seller in such an educated way that they agree with the listing price that you present to them through the data that you're giving them. Here the script is. First, we'll look at the recently sold homes and to tell us what buyers are currently willing to pay. This is very important because you know and I know the home is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay. 3 phases to this technique here. Only what the buyers are willing to pay in this current market. Now, when the market is tight as it is, you're going to have competing offers. So buyers are willing to pay more than market value. They're willing to outbid each other because the fear of not getting a home by Christmas is very real to a lot of the buyers. Can you guys see that? The same script and the same technique goes in with the second phase. It says, next, we will look at the current homes offered for sale to see what our competition is. Very important, because if you're going to price your home on today's market, you want to be comparable with the homes that's like yours, or the sellers are like theirs, so that you will have enough people viewing the home to generate an offer or interest in the property. The danger of overpricing the property is that when the property is overpriced by so much, it actually is viewed by less of the people. We're going to see it on one of my subsequent slides. And the third thing in the same technique is, lastly, we will look at the expired homes that did not sell to tell us what buyers are not willing to pay at this time. Do you see how this approach will help you, Mr. Seller, determine the best price? And you're doing this here. And the seller will say, yeah, it will. Now, with this here portion of the educating them with the CMA, now you haven't done it, you pulled it out, it's on the table, but you're talking through the psychology of it, because what you want to do is get them out of the heart right now and get them into the logic right now. Because they're sitting there and they're ready, got their arms folded like, I know what I want for my house, and you can't tell them it's not worth $1 million and it's only worth $900,000. So what you're going to do is you're going to get them out of their heart and you're going to get them into their logic. Because that's the only thing that's going to make a decision. Though buying or selling a home is an emotional transaction, but setting the right price is not a reality when it comes to your emotions, because my home is worth $1 million. After all, I've been living here for 30 years and I had my kids raising this home. It has a lot of sentimental value, so I value it more. But the truth of the matter is that the home is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay. Now, that's the psychology behind it. Now, when you go through this process, each step of the process, you have to get the seller to agree with you. Don't go through the whole CMA. You need to get the agreement with him at every phase of this presentation. Now, let's go through what we're going to do in the reviewing of the CMA. Now, this is technique number 89, and you will find technique number 89 in your workbook on page number 45, and we're on slide number 6 if you're following with us by your slides. Here you are speaking with your seller again. This is all, now listen up guys, this is all done in the first 10 minutes of sitting down at the table. You know that, right? This is not a long process here. What you're doing is you're setting him up to review the information that you bring in so that they can make an informed decision to price the home correctly. Star, this is a great time for the head of class for you, because now have you priced the home already, Star?
Yeah, we have. I did a CMA and everything. I know what it should be, but he hasn't priced it yet. I went today and looked at everything that needed to be done, so I'm going to go over it with him today.
Okay. Now, did he have an idea what he wanted his home to be priced by?
Yeah, but he thinks it should be a little bit more than I think it should be, so I'm going to tell him what things I found in the home. He hasn't seen it in a long time, so he doesn't know the problems.
Okay, so
I have to let him know.
This is what you do, Sally. Star. You go through and you walk him through the CMA. walk through the ones that's currently listed. This is what you're gonna do right here. You're gonna have it. You're gonna have exactly how to do it, and you're gonna ask them the question. And the thing is that you're not gonna beat them down. You're not gonna lose your listing behind it. You're gonna educate them. You're gonna ask questions, and then know this portion of it because this is gonna be important for you. Now, you have your videos back yet, Star?
I didn't hear you. What?
Do you have your videos back yet?
Yes.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is send over the pricing video to your client prior to you meeting with him.
I didn't do the pricing.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. All right. Well, you're
No.
gonna do it. You're gonna do it live now. You're gonna do a great job, by the way. And, okay. So let's go down to number 89. So we'll provide you with a detailed current market analysis, and you're talking in the first person, not the third person here. Okay. So the next step will be is first the home. The first home is yours, located at, you're gonna give them their home. It has bedrooms, features, just like you spoke about their Star, bathroom, square feet. Is that correct? So you get them to confirm the square footage of the home, the bathrooms of the home, the different features that's there. Why is this important? Because you're going to be comparing their home against other homes on the market. And it's very important that they can see other like homes like theirs, similar in style, square footage, and things of that nature, because every home is unique. But once you get them to agree there, then now you start comparing, because you know that we price homes by what? Dollar per square feet. Correct? Everybody say yes. Okay, so but square foot. So how many square feet is the home is very important, because if it's derived by that value, and we have a home that's on the market for $500,000 and it's 2,000 square feet, then we have one on the market for 200,000 and 2,000 square feet. Let's see that. Then another one on the market for 200,000 and it's 1,500 square feet. Which one is overpriced? Now, based on market conditions, let's just for instance, the seller wanted to price their home like the neighbor house down the street, but it wasn't the same square footage. So now he wants to match that price because it's on the same block. But is his home worth the same? The answer is no, because bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage means a difference in the price, because that's what the appraisals use to determine value. Can you guys see that? So this is where you're going to educate the seller. This is your home. Is that correct? And now you're going to give them an education and talk them through, because Brett, I want to get you out of the heart. And I want you to start thinking logically, because I need you to agree with me through this process. And he says, yes, this is correct on my home. Okay. So now then I'm going to make sure I get a yes. And once I get the yes on their home, then I'm going to move them into the current listed properties and look at the like properties like theirs, go through and get them to agree what the prices are in them and so forth. Not making price yet, just educating. Because I'm about to go back to this education as we get to the point where they're going to make the price for their home. So once I get the yes on the home, then the next step I will go through the process where I will go through the listed, the sold homes, then I will go through the expired homes on the list, and even if I have to, I will go through the canceled homes on the list to make sure that I take the time here. This is where you don't rush it through, guys. You want to go over the detail and let them read the features and the square footage of the home and the things that's actually applicable for the home, because they're going to start reasoning, because when they're reading about the home down the street that's sold or currently listed or expired, they're comparing it to the confirmation of their home likeness. So without you saying so, they're saying, well, wait a minute, they only had 1,000 square feet here, and my home is 800 square feet, so a square foot. So I cannot compare the two because mine is less square footage. So therefore, my price gonna probably be less. They're thinking that. Or I have a 500 square feet more in my home than they had in their home. So hot dog, I can get more for my home, and they're thinking it's correct. So it still may be lower than what they think their home is valued at, because most sellers don't tell nobody, but they're greedy. They want all the money. They're greedy. But the thing is that if you educate them properly, it's going to be easier for you. Do you guys agree? So let's go to technique number 90. And I can stop right now. Any questions right now, what I'm covering so far? Okay, so if you don't know where we are, we're on page number 45, we're on technique number 90, and we're reviewing the actual CMA. This is the same CMA that the seller wants you to review during the first meeting, but now you're hired and you're reviewing your data with them now because this is what's going to help them get their home sold in the quickest, highest price, quickest, most convenient time frame. Okay, let's look at other properties, and then let's look at what buyers. This is very important, guys. Wording, don't paraphrase. I mean, don't paraphrase or don't change up the wording. This is very important here. Let's look at what buyers have been willing to pay for similar homes. The first home is at, and then you're reviewing, right? The wording, buyers are willing to pay. That's key, guys, because if buyers are not willing to pay for the home, it stays on the market a lot longer. Would you guys agree? So for similar homes, that means that it's not an identical home because the paint may be different. Your home may have blue carpet, it may have red carpet. They may have converted a bedroom into a family room, but the similarity is the square footage is about the same. The number of beds are about the same. The lawn may look different. The square footage of the lot may be a little different, but they're similar enough to compare them for their home in the value. Now let me ask a question. I want you to meet yourself. If you're doing the CMA for your seller and you're going out, how many miles would you go out for your CMA? Unmute yourself, guys, and answer the question if you can, or if you like to participate. How far do you go out?
1 mile for me. If it's in a city.
1 mile. Okay. Who's that speaking? Okay.
Kendra says 1 mile if I can find a like property. If not, I'll go 3 to 5 miles. It just depends.
Okay.
For rural properties, I have to extend the radius.
Okay, exactly. Okay, that's good. Thank you, Kendra. And Kendra was saying was that in the rural areas, you have to go further, and that's the exceptions that appraisers make correct. And the rule of thumb is 1 mile out. Now, if at all possible, you get the properties as close to your property as possible because neighborhoods and streets makes a difference in values. I can be on one side of the boulevard and homes is $20,000 above the price of the homes on the other side of the boulevard because of neighborhoods and so forth. So start with the smallest radius, 0.25 miles. If you get enough comps in that area, then you're good. You should have 3 to 5 listings, 3 to 5 solds, 3 to 5 pendings and expires if you can. Now, if you cannot get them in it, then you go out a half a mile. Then you go a mile. I think it goes a quarter, half, and a full mile. But the appraisers will only work within 1 mile in the urban areas. That means in the city area. So within 1 mile, the closest property is going to have the highest weight on your value. If you're picking all of your homes in a 1 mile, a 0.9 miles radius from the subject property, and they got 15 houses that sold around your property, chances are the appraiser will not use the properties that's far away as the value because 1 mile away, you change neighborhoods. You can be in Beverly Hills and a half a mile later on, you're in another area of downtown LA. And the properties are totally different. And one area is a golf course. The other area is the not so good homes, a lot of apartment complexes. So your value will change. So pay attention when you're pulling your comps that you use the rule of thumb. Closest is best. Further away if necessary. Okay? So here's your scripting. Let us look at what buyers are willing to pay for properties similar to your homes. And their home is that. And then right here, guys, they're going to bring out the objections, okay? They're going to know why their home is so different. They're going to tell you why they don't compare to their property because they know that the home down the street was a tenant in it and they tore the house up, the grass was bad and all these things here. Listen to them and hear them out so you can know how to answer them logically. They're going to go emotional on here. And if you're going to have any trouble, this is where your trouble is going to come at with your listing presentation. They're not going to believe that that home has nothing to do with the value of their home. And the truth is, it has a lot to do with it. when you're looking at the listing properties currently on the market, the ones that's pending, the ones that sold, even the ones that's expired. So now what you're going to do is make sure that you're going to respond to them with what? The facts. And make sure that you answer each of their questions, okay? The facts, the facts, the facts. The number 91 will give it, because you don't want to just opinionize or give your opinion about things. You are there to educate them. And what do you educate them? With your CMA. You educate them with the facts. So don't be the expert to tell them what you think. No, I'm going to show you what the data says and then deal with the facts about what your property should sell for based on what a buyer is willing to pay for it or have been paying for it or property that's currently sold. So here's your technique, number 91. Would someone like to help me out with 91? Anybody would like to read number 91?
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I understand, but would you agree the home is in the same area? Agree the home has the same number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square feet?
Yeah. Yeah. And if they say yes, you just got 4 yeses built to build your case. Now, they have to agree because the data is there. The home says 2,000 square feet and your home says 2,000 square feet. The bedroom says 3 plus 2 and 3 plus 2. They have to say yes because that's a logical answer. Anything else, they're lying, right? So what you're looking for, the micro agreements. And you ask that question. Now, again, this is where they're going to be emotional, guys. Don't get emotional with them. Don't start loud talking. Just be calm, stay logical, and let the facts work for you. If they want more, then you just go back to the current market value. They want more than current market value. Remember, you are the messenger, okay? You are the messenger. You didn't make the data. You didn't put the properties that are there sold. You didn't make these prices up. This is the data. And that is what's going to win in the end, because when the appraiser come to do the appraisal and the lender do the field review, if the property is not properly priced, you're going to have a problem with your appraisal and your deal will probably fall out of escrow. Would you guys agree? Okay. So I'm dealing with facts. I'm going to deal with the properties that's sold, and I'm looking for yeses. I'm going to deal with the ones that's currently for sale. That's their competition. And I want to be within a certain range with them. Now, let's face it. If I got a real nice home with a real nice curb appeal and we price our home $5,000 more than the home down the street, it probably won't cause you that much of a damage. All depends on your price range. Now, in my neighborhood, prices are $800,000 a home. Well, $5,000 above the home down the street is not going to stop a sale. I may end up getting a different adjusted offer, but it's going to be within reason. Remember, your goal is to be within 3% of the last property that's sold on the market. Slightly below the one active listings, but slightly higher than the last one that's sold. That means you're probably going to sell like this. Now, in this market, seller going to want to price the house higher, but you're going to educate them on how having a home price in that Goldilocks zone will actually drive the price even higher, making a bidding frenzy, because your home's so nice and buyers going to come in and they're going to be so fearful someone else going to buy the home from up under them. They're going to bid higher and higher for your home, and they're actually going to get more than what you want to put it on the market for if you do the strategy right. And this is where your expertise come in at, okay? All right. Make sure that at the end of your current market analysis, you're going to end with these following questions, okay? This is your questions, okay? I just covered that. Sold. Category inspires. Now these are everything's here. I'm just putting on the board for you so you guys can see. Remain the messenger. Sold, for sale, and expired. That's the bread and butter of your presentation. Remember, you want to be slightly above the last thing that's sold that's comparable, and slightly below the lowest price one on the market that's comparable. Now that's subject to your company, your sellers, neighborhood, and so forth. And it doesn't mean that you have to be lower, but if you want a real quick sell with a competitive bidding, Slightly lower means that every agent and every buyer that's looking in that neighborhood gonna come see your home first. And that's what create the frenzy. That's what create the bidding wars, because they come, everybody see it to see your home. If it's overpriced, few people gonna look at your home because you're gonna see it's overpriced. So this is where you're gonna educate the seller at this point. Okay. Any questions, guys, so far on this here portion? Because I think these are critical for us. Okay. The next one, technique number 92. This is good here. Now, this is if you're dealing with a seller that's going to price it right. Now you ask him, what do you think your home will price for? Here it is. Number 92. Would somebody like to take that for me?
Do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Based on the information I have given you, where would you like to price your home?
And guys, when you say that, the first one speaks loses. Be quiet. Listen. Because if you did a really good job presenting information to them and got the micro yeses, they're going to probably choose a price within 3%, okay, of the market value, and you can go with that. You can ride that out with no problem at all. Now you want them to be slightly below the lowest price out there, slightly above the last one that sold is comparable, but within 3%, you can make that work all day long. Okay? So when now they may agree with you. They agree with the pricing scenario that you gave them through the educating, then you're the pro, you're the expert. If they don't agree, then it's just where it's gonna come up at. Now, doesn't mean that they're gonna agree with you on the price. So let's see what happens if they don't. Let's go through a scenario here. Okay, we just covered that. Okay, this said, I'll read this here. If you complete the price presentation and however they are still not agreeing with you on price, they will either look at you as a pro, or they will look at you, or they will pick a price that's right for the property, or they'll overprice it. So if they do it right, then you're the pro. If they still want to overprice it because they didn't go with the logic, then you'll use these positive techniques right here. This is where you're going to be at. You're either the pro, they priced it right, or they want to overprice it. Either way, you're not going to argue with them with your opinion. You're just the messenger. So that means that you got to do a greater degree of educating them. And so this is where you are you're going to put it together. And it is this here, 3 techniques we're going to use. Doesn't matter, no guessing, I don't know. Because they're going to ask you, they're going to ask you, what do you think the house will be sold at? And don't do it. As much as you want to tell them, don't do it. Go back to your CMA and say, well, let's take a look at the homes again. Let's look at the ones that's currently on the market right now. Let's look at the ones that's currently in escrow right now. Let's look at the ones that's currently have sold and go over the information again. So based on that information I've just shown you, Mr. Seller or Mrs. Seller, what do you think is the proper price to price your home based on what the buyer is willing to pay in this market? And be quiet. They don't agree with you again, guess what? You say, okay, well, let's take a look at it and go back to it. And then you're going, sooner or later, it's going to sink in because what you mean? You're trying to get them from here, right, to here. I'm trying to get them out of their heart to get them into their mind because that's the logic. And let's look at these 3 techniques that you're going to help them stay on track with, okay? Remember, do not give them a price for the home because now they got a right to disagree with you and say, I want to talk to another agent. But if you don't never price the home, they can't get mad with you because you're just a messenger. You never gave them the price. You're only educating them on what has been sold. So remember, after every response that they give you, they're overpriced or not priced it correctly because you know what the price should be, but you're going to guide them to the conclusion so they get the, aha, I got it. I know it's going to sell our home. Based on what you said, we can price it here. We're going to probably even get more. Now they're speaking your language, okay? Go back to the facts, go back to the current market analysis, and keep helping them go through it. So we're going to go through a couple of things in the next chapter about the information that's going to help you to redirect them back to it, because it's all techniques, guys. And remember, you're not arguing with them. You're not trying to dissuade them. You're not trying to get them to do something that's unreasonable. All you're working with is the facts. You're working in the area of logic. Now, these here things we're going to be considered what we call price delay techniques, because what happens is that when you get it ready to meet with the seller, chances are they're going to say, well, that's great, but what do you think my home is worth? And you're not ready to talk price, right? Because you hadn't educated them. So never get trapped into that. But they're going to say, as soon as you sit down there, oh, okay, great. You got your CMA, okay, great. So what do you think my home is worth? And don't do it. As much as you may have done it in the past, don't do it in the future. You're going to find a way to delay giving them that information until you're ready to give it to them, because I want to start talking to them to move them out of the heart into the logic side. I want to start sharing with them the information on the market about their home, their features, and confirm the things that we already know, compare it to their home, and then help them make a decision. But if you give them price, then they never even think about the pricing or the square footage or what's sold or what's expired or what's an escrow. Okay, so make sure that you do not talk price until you're ready. So here's a couple of delay techniques that you can use. Now remember, get the commitment. Do you agree? Sold, pending, expired. As you're going along, before you start talking price. Don't do it at the first visit. It's the second visit. Okay? Excuse me. Here are the techniques that you're going to use. The first one is the price delay techniques. Remember, just get the commitment before talking price, okay? Okay, let me go back. Okay, here it is. Technique number 93, and that is found on page number 47. Price and delay. Okay, would someone want to help me with this here? 93. What do you think your home is worth? They ask you, what do you think my home is worth? Anyone want to take that one?
I'll shoot.
Okay.
What I personally think your home is worth doesn't really matter. It's only worth what a qualified buyer is willing to pay for this type of home in this immediate area, right?
And then you're doing this here, shaking your head. And this is important, guys. These 93 and 94 are going to be used together. But this is where you start to make them move from the heart into the mind to get them out of this emotional place. It doesn't matter what I think. And it sounds harsh, but the truth of the matter is, doesn't matter what you think. Only the thing that matters is the facts. What the homes are sold for, what a qualified buyer is willing to pay for it, and what it would appraise for it. Them the facts. And your opinion doesn't change that. So it doesn't matter. What I personally think what your home is worth, it doesn't really matter, but the work or qualified buyers willing to pay. Very good. Thank you very much. And then you will move on, and then you say, right, you get the right commitment and say, yeah, right. Then you go to the next one, and that will be number 94. No guessing. Here it is. Would somebody like to take number 94 for me, please? Will someone take 94?
You got it? The pricing of your home is much too important to take a guess at. Why don't we view the home? We will talk about the price and you may select a price. And I can get started immediately.
Okay, so great. Why don't we review the home? And what you go back to? Their square footage on their home. You go back to the like properties around there. You go right back to the data. And then I get started right away. And then you get started immediately. Now, would you agree? Or you got to tell it in with something. You start immediately. You got to have that next slide will cover that. But thank you very much, Carrie. And no guessing. Why would guessing be a bad thing to do? Anybody? Because you could be wrong. That's what guessing could have you in error. Guessing could have you overprice or underprice a property because you didn't do your homework. But you would never have to guess as a professional real estate agent because you always do your homework. You always pull your comps. You always educate your seller. So the chances are you making a mistake with pricing your home is very small. Very, very small because you're basing it on current data that's available for you through the MLS. So you would use number 93 and 94 together. Okay? Let's go to number 95. I don't know. Now, these are pricing delay techniques because these questions are going to come up at the very beginning during your pricing presentation or even during your primary listing presentation. And you have to know these three for the pricing delay so that you can get the commitment before you start talking price. Okay? So I know these, remember these here, 93 through 95, because you're going to have to use or rely on these here on the first meeting and the second meeting probably, and be able to bring the seller back to the reality of what the property could possibly be worth. So let's look at number 95. Will someone take number 95 for me, please? I don't know.
I can do it.
Thank you.
I don't know. Seriously, the pricing is much too important to guess at. Why don't we go through the home and I can collect enough information so you can make a good decision on price? Fair enough?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, Kendra, that was good. Do you see what they're doing? You're bringing them back to the home. Now, go through the home. This here could be at the very beginning of the presentation. What do you think my home is worth? But they're going to try to nail you down to give them a price. Don't never, never, never give them the price. Even though you know the price, what it should be, because you're the professional, you did the homework, but it's not your job to tell them. Your job is to educate them. Okay? Now, use these delaying techniques when isolating objections about the price, assuring them that you would get them the highest price in the quickest, most convenient timeline. And that's our HPQ, HP something. I forgot it. Here it is, though. What is it? It is the highest price in the quickest, most convenient time. That's what it is. And number 96, price the only problem. This is isolation, right? You're going to isolate here. And here it is. Other than price, is there any other reason you would hesitate from listening with me today? And they say, no, great. And you move on to the next portion of it. And you can close them right there. Right? They say no other thing, price. Then you can go into the aspect of reviewing the data and then get the price right, and then they'll hire you today. What they're saying is, yeah, I'll hire you. I'll take it. Okay? And the last one would be is HPQCT. There it is. I knew something there. All right, 97. This is the end of chapter 9. So let's go with 97. And it's assured. So get you the highest price and say, yeah, great. And say, I know you won't find anyone, Mr. Seller, who will put out as much effort and professional service to get you the highest price in the quickest, most convenient timeline. What is that, which is what you want, right? They say, sure, that's what I want. That's a closing technique for them. Great. What do you think you want to price your home at? That's at the first presentation, and just ask them. And they say, oh, I want this amount here. Great. What do you think you want for commissions? Okay. If they don't ask, I wouldn't even ask them. I'll just get them to sign the contract. It's going to be filled out. Everything but commission and price is going to be already done. They just got to get the signatures in there, and I will get the agreement. And so right here would be a great spot after you show them the comps and so forth. You can do it here. This would be a great place to play your video. If you have the video, pricing video. Now, I don't know if you guys have your video yet, but you can get your videos made. Let me, I'm going to pull mine up right now, pricing video. And we're going to play this video, guys, and just take a look at this here. Now you have a way where they're doing the videos, and you can get them made, but it's all scripts, and the videos are strictly came from the book. The video took the entire presentation, the pricing presentation that we're going over here in 9 and 10, and it's condensed it down to a 2-minute video. So I'm going to play this video here and let you guys see what it is that I use. Let me know for some reason if you don't hear the sound. You should hear it, okay? All right? Hi, my name is Kelvin Verrett. Thank you for choosing me as your real estate professional. When pricing your home, it is vitally important for you to select the best asking price. That will get you the highest buyer's offer in the quickest, most convenient timeline. It takes a lot of work on my part, but I can help you determine the best asking price for your home. Many sellers are misled by agents who tell them what they think their home should sell for and are actually trying to purchase your listing. However, I am determined to make sure that you have enough information so that you can determine the highest selling price possible for your home. My job as a professional real estate agent is to give you enough information so that you can make a logical decision and select the best asking price and market your home to the most qualified buyers in today's marketplace. By pricing your home correctly in the first place, you will receive higher offers for more qualified and serious buyers right from the very beginning. The biggest problem with overpricing your home is that your home must meet the appraiser's price opinion and the lender's field review, just to make sure the appraiser is on track. So even if I found someone who is willing to overpay for your home, in today's market, it still must be appraised in order to complete the sale. There are many reasons and strategies to why you should list your home for the highest current market value. By pricing your home slightly less than the current competition, but higher than properties that are currently on the market, you will have leverage in the marketplace. And coupled with my strategic step-by-step marketing plan, you will get your home sold for the highest price in the quickest, most convenient timeline. I believe your equity is in your new home or investment, saving you thousands of dollars in interest rates alone by purchasing your new home at a lower interest rate and price. By selling your home quicker, you will net the highest price in today's market. This pricing strategy will create more qualified buyers interested in purchasing your home, thus giving us a better chance to get your home sold in the time frame you wish. I look forward to working with you and your family to help you with all of your real estate needs and goals. Awesome, awesome. Now, with that being played, did you hear the entire pricing presentation within the video? Unmute yourself, guys. We're gonna be question and answers right now.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes this so powerful. That's what makes it so powerful. You see, you will do your presentation, and then when you play the video, it's regurgitating everything you just went through with them, and they hear it, so they got it once through you, through the video, and then now you say, what you want to price your home at? And when they have a problem, you're equipped and you're very much trained that you go right back to your CMA and you go over the data again and you ask the question, remember you're going to isolate, other than that, is there any other reason why you wouldn't list with me today? In this case here, you already hired. So other than that, is there any reason we couldn't get started today? And then go back. Say again?
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, okay. All right, let me turn. Is it better now?
Oh yeah, much.
Okay, all
Much
right.
better, thank you.
The video was so loud, so I had to turn my end down. So, okay. But the thing, what I'm saying is that when you have the video and you have the slides presentation, it makes it much, much easier for the seller to trust the data that you're giving them. And one of the things that I would say is that we have to trust our skill set and have our systems in place to where we can be comfortable giving them the information without reverting back to what we were comfortable doing, because sometimes we'll hide behind the price, say, oh yeah, well, I did the work and I know exactly what your home gonna sell for, and I'm the superstar, I'm the superhero, I'm gonna get you. No, that's the most dangerous thing you can do, because the minute the things does not line up like you promised in your word, then you become a liar, or you become not a liar, but you become a person that's not educated, or you become a person that they can't trust that you're skilled to get the property sold. And I've seen many agents lose their listing because they priced the home, or they told the seller something that they wanted to, that they felt the seller wanted to hear, so they can secure the listing for fear that the seller won't hire them. But I truly believe that the seller will hire you because of your professionalism, because of your skill set, and that you won't cave into the pressure of the fear of not getting the listing. Because I believe sellers want service, and they want to have an educated and trained agent to represent them to negotiate one of the biggest transactions they will probably have in their life. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's go through from what we spoke about. I'm not going to go into the actual price of the overpricing because we don't have time now. But anything that you guys, questions that you may have about the listing presentation or what we're doing at this point?
The script, hi, this is Kendra. The script for the videos, those are all in the manuals, correct?
Actually, we just took the manual and we pulled scripts out of here and put them into a 2-minute dialogue and condensed it down. So I
But
wrote.
it's,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's not an actual script, it's just the little pieces that are in the book. So if you're gonna open the book, you won't find the script.
Right. Because what I did was I just took the book and wrote my scripts out. And I know Daniel supplied scripts for the same thing. It just came out of the book and supplied the scripts for everybody that did the videos with him. And so, but I just took the book and said, okay, then listen to the presentation and wrote the scripts out. And that was it. That was good. And that's basically, it's the book. It's the closing here. And what you guys think about the video?
I thought it was great.
Yeah. And
Professional.
Yeah, I did mine too. It came out real nice.
yeah, it complements everything that you're training with, right? So the video just is another tool in your arsenal, just like Express Offers is another tool in your arsenal. So if you
One
can,
thing I'll say, if you don't mind, Calvin.
yes, go ahead.
The listing that I got, like I said, they're from New York. So I spoke to the husband because the wife wasn't there, and he's the only one on title. And he's like, I told my wife all about you. We're so excited. We're so happy. You know, she's sorry that she didn't get to talk to you. And I said, well, I could send her my video so she could at least know a little bit about me and see how I sell homes. And I had just actually gotten my video that day on the seller's presentation. So
Wow.
it was really cool that I had that video that I could send her. She could see how I sell homes and see me.
So did you send him a video?
Yeah, I sent her the seller's presentation.
Awesome. So did it help you?
It helped her see me and see what I'm about and how I'm going to sell their home, because she's not going to ever be able to meet me because they live in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, that helps, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Nobody else is doing that.
no, and it serves a lot of different purposes,
Yes.
especially with COVID.
Yes. Yes. It's a powerful thing, and if you have the videos and you can use them, guys. If you don't have the videos, guess what? Make your own video. Just get a green screen, turn the camera on, write down the script, and do it. It's better than anything that you have right now. And if you don't have a video, make one. If you can't afford to get a video, make a video. Just do it. And if nothing else, then just when you're doing your sellers presentation with your sellers, record it. And then piece it off. But you don't have to have the video. I'm saying that to you right now. It's not the videos. You're being trained and equipped with the scripts. How many of you guys right now are reading your scripts? Are you actually internalizing them? And it's not a pass or fail at all. Okay. So how many of you guys right now are actually on top of your scripting?
Yes.
I study them. I have a hard time memorizing, but I'm definitely studying. And I could tell just from speaking to the client the other day that it's definitely in my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. And guys,
If
but
you read those over, sorry to interrupt, but if you read those over and you sleep on it and then do it the next day and you just get it into your head, and then all of a sudden it just comes out and you know what to do. But you got to go on appointments too, because
Yes.
that way you can do them when you're on the field making it happen.
you
And
fell
then
forward.
it just flows. It flows.
And guys, this is what I do. I take my phone out. Everybody's phone has a recorder on it. Take your phone out, get your recorder out, read the scripts in your own voice into the phone, the script number 1, number 2, number 3. And then while you're driving, while you got your earbuds, while you're jogging, you put your recorder on and play the scripts back. And it's on your own voice because you see it, you written it down, and you listen to it in your own voice, and you trust your own voice, and the retention is there. Even when you don't think you know them, when you start talking to people, they start coming out. And I believe, Star, when you was on the call, your scripts were coming out because you attended the trainings. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So is there anything I can help you guys with at all? Any questions? You're stuck on something that maybe I can answer a question for you?
I got mine answered. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So let me ask the question then. How many hours are you guys prospecting a day right now? Coming up with the holidays, and how many hours are you actually when prospect either sphere of influence, working with sphere of influence, marketing, calling, circle prospecting? How many hours are you guys actually prospecting right now? It's a challenge question for you. Come on, everybody speak at once now.
1.
1 hour, okay.
I usually go all day unless I'm busy with other stuff like new listings, property entrance, dealing with offers. That's just what I do all day.
Yeah, Mike, you're a beast. When I grew up on a beach, just
Yes.
like you do, you're a beast. And
I got trained by Jerry Burns
yeah, brother, you're a beast,
some time
man.
ago, and that guy, all I did was make calls and set appointments. That was it. That's all I did.
That's it. So let me, Mike, I can use you as a test case. You don't mind if you don't mind sharing. Now you make calls all day long. How many leads do you get when you're making your calls? On average.
I would say that it's different now. I used to do a lot of expireds, cancels, and FSBOs, and there's not so much of those now. So I'm doing different stuff, going after new properties, and I'm usually doing about a couple of appointments a week these days.
Okay, that's good, Mike.
Awesome.
That's good. Now, for all you guys that's in the business, if you could, you should be doing at least 2 hours of prospecting every day. Not old business. Not working on that 2 hours minimum every day. You need to speak to at least 20 people a day asking for business. Now that don't mean dial. That means speak to. If one of the things that I've incorporated into my business is that I do circle prospecting. Listing comes up, I go on and get a list out and I start calling them. That's because they're not on the market properties. Now, I've incorporated $1. This is all expenses. It's part of marketing. I incorporated $1. So that means that I'm committed to making X amount of calls a day and talking to X amount of people a day. Mike, do you use $1 or you just dial manually?
No, I use a dialer.
Use $1. Okay.
But when I'm calling my leads in a stack, I just call them one by one.
Right.
So if I'm calling, I can. So I've got red X. Like if it's the first and there's a lot of expireds, I'll put them in the dialer and call them there.
Okay.
If I'm calling my farm, the successors, data stuff, I stick that on a dialer. You can knock out 100 or 200 calls, in a couple of hours doing that way.
Okay. Absolutely. And guys, I asked that question because if you're going to win at this game, you want to be listings. And the only way you're going to get it is you've been trained in presentations is to make the calls. And if you guys like to, I will help you. I will show you how to set the systems up, how to get things work. And like I use Mojo Dial. I like Mojo because I used to use RedX, but I moved over to Mojo. If you guys want to get started, they got marketing campaigns, everything to go along with it. Now, there's a cost to it. I have a three number dialer. So I dial 3 at a time. And I call people that's not listed. And circle prospecting is one. But this is part of your marketing. I'm not telling you to do this here, but I'm just trying to help you. If you can go out and every listing comes pregnant, so if you can put in 2 hours a day making phone calls to people that you don't know, and that's for business, I guarantee you 2021 is going to be the best year you've ever had in real estate. Scripting, we have all the scripting. We have everything that's done that you need to make this here work for you. And I'm not advocating go get $1. If you can't, don't have the budget for it, dial one by one. But you should be working your database. You should have a minimum of 200 people in your database that you're marketing consistently. 200 people in your database will give you 17 transactions. Okay? That would we give every person in the database should give you 4 referrals every year. I would help you guys set up a drip campaign, whatever you need. And I'm not charging nobody for nothing. I'm just sharing the information with you. But these are the things that's going to make you the rock star in real estate. And I found that I hate dialing these phone numbers. So I got $1, and man, it's like I'm talking to 20 to 30 people a day asking for business. Most of them say no, but then there's about 10 or 15 of them say yes. Wait till later on. And I have a trove of people that's in line that's going to do business with me in the next 6 months. And that's the thing it's working on, because with that, and if you're in EXP, you have what we call KV Core, and you have a nurturing campaign. And these are the things that's going to make you win in 2021. You want 2021 to be the best year ever, then you need to put some tools in place to help you do the leveraging. And I'll tell you guys, I believe in prospecting, but I don't like dialing. I realize that. So I have a system set up, and I say 2 hours a day I'm going to call. In fact, I just increased it to 3 hours a day because I'm not doing enough. And I'm doing it through the holidays. Why? Because everybody stopped working during the holidays. But I work harder during these here times because my January is going to be good. My February is going to be good. So don't slow down, guys. If I can tell you anything, don't slow down. Speed up. See, I'm going to prospect 10 hours minimum every day. Prospecting is not working on your current business. Prospecting is working on people that you don't know. If you don't have money for marketing, then don't spend money on Facebook. Go to your database, get your Google phone book out, and call the people that you already know with, hey, just check in, how you doing? And it's a business card, don't keep you long, how's the family? Check in and say, by the way, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell real estate? Or invest in real estate? And then say yes, no, maybe so. Jot down in the pertinent information, say thank you for thinking about it. And don't spend no more than 2 minutes, a maximum of 5 minutes on any phone call. If they want to talk, say, you know what? Let me call you back after work today, and have them conversations later on. And if you do that 5 days a week, guys, 10 hours a week, and if you don't get nothing going there, you have no escrows, after your prospecting time, go play golf, go bowling, go sit down with the family. You've done your job. But as a real estate agent, you have to prospect every day. 5 things we should do as an agent is work our database, run our ads, Facebook ads. Put your posters on Facebook and Craigslist. They're free. You don't have to pay for nothing. But if you want to pay for it, boost it. Spend $5 for boosting an ad on Facebook or something. But do anything to get yourself in front of people. Again, lead by budget. We're having a workshop that's coming up on the 10th of next month, and it's about crushing the numbers. We did last week. We did one on marketing, Facebook marketing, and starting your corporation. It was really, really good. I haven't posted. I posted up. Watch it. We got rave reviews. It was that good. It was that much information that went by. But these are some of the things that you need to be strategizing for 2021. Do you have your goals in place yet? If you don't, I'm willing to help you guys out. I will send you the forms out, put your goals together. I'll help you crunch the numbers, and you know exactly what you need to do in 2021. So you wake up in the morning, you know how many people to call, you know how many people to talk to, and you will see your business start to explode. This is available for you guys, and you got somebody willing to help you. Okay? And if you want it, then just put in the chat box. You can send a private chat message to, let nobody know. Send it to Sally, and Sally will make sure that you guys get what you need, and then I'll send you the link out for the crunching the numbers on December the 10th. It's a Thursday at 10 o'clock, and we'll go over this here. And when you leave that coaching session on Thursday at 10 o'clock, you're going to know exactly what your 2021 going to look like by the numbers. And if you don't do it, it's all up to you. All right? Fair enough, but that's all I have today. I really thank you guys for coming on board and allowing me to speak into your life. And I just want you guys to succeed. If I get any reward out of this here whatsoever, I want the reward to be that you guys succeed in 2021. That's my phone number. That's my email address. You can be private. I know some people are private. Be private. Send it out to me, and let me